Fortnite Chapter 1 had a ton of rare items most players never got to use, and that is because when Fortnite Battle Royale first released on September 26th of 2017, technically we weren't even in Season 1 yet. Epic Games was experimenting with various items from Save the World to see what would fit in Battle Royale, and there were so many cool weapons we would never see again. Most people don't know that there were even more customization slots Epic was working on, including hats, a battle bus section, dances and taunts were two separate sections, and then finally there was a victory pose slot. Years later, a Fortnite designer actually released what the victory royale screen was going to look like, so it would have made sense to have custom victory poses and taunts for this screen. There was never a specific menu section in game, but it was also revealed that Fortnite planned to add calling cards at 1.2. Going back to the in-game items though, the ceiling zapper item is definitely the least used trap in history because it was only in game for a few weeks before being vaulted when Fortnite Season 1 officially began on October 26th of 2017. Season 1 was actually the start of the first Fortnitemares as well and would be the shortest season in Fortnite history, only lasting 49 days. This was also the only season where there was an item shop and a separate season shop where you would have to level up in order to purchase the season specific cosmetics. Two of the season rewards were actually free, the battle bus banner icon at level 10 and the Mako glider at level 25. However, the super rare skins that everyone wishes they had today did cost quite a bit of money at the time. It would cost a total of 4,400 V-Bucks to buy everything from the season shop, which is a lot more than the 950 V-Bucks it now costs for a battle pass that includes way more stuff. And I bet you didn't know that when the season first released, the season shop wasn't even available. It turns out that Fortnite had other skin concepts they were originally planning on adding. So now it's kind of crazy to think that some of these Fortnitemares skin concepts could have actually been the iconic rare skins everyone wished they had bought. I think they ended up making the right decision though, because I don't think anyone wishes they had this guy as a skin, but it would have been pretty cool to have the metal teddy bear and even the Stars and Stripes commando skin. One thing that almost everyone forgets about Season 1 though is the directional jump pads. They only lasted in game for 2 weeks and there were two different versions of them, a horizontal jump pad and a vertical jump pad. They were actually pretty cool and pretty useful, so it's a shame that the launch pad pretty much replaced them at the time, but at least we did end up getting bouncers at some point in the future. If you knew about the directional jump pads, I can almost guarantee you didn't know about the oil slick trap. It works just like the floor freeze trap we eventually got, but for some reason this one never made it out of testing. If I'm being honest though, I can't imagine a lot of you guys are really itching to use it anyways, but I do have an item I definitely know you wish you could have used. All the OG Chapter 1 players remember the struggle before reboot vans, because if a teammate died, he would literally have to spectate for the rest of the game, and as a result, many squads would just leave if someone was eliminated in the beginning. That way their friend could actually play. This is why it doesn't make sense to me that Fortnite never officially released the golden ticket item that would allow you to revive all of your teammates and spawn all of you guys on a personal battle bus. This would have created so many awesome memories back in the day, and I genuinely think this may be one of the biggest mistakes Fortnite has ever made. Everyone just assumed that Fortnite stole the respawn idea from Apex Legends. Meanwhile, they were working on this the entire time. Another weapon you guys probably don't remember is the original submachine gun that looks like a Tech 9. I personally just remember this thing being absolutely terrible, and Fortnite must have realized how bad it was because it was vaulted in Season 2 and then never seen in the files again. Season 2 is also the first season with a battle pass, but you probably didn't know that it was initially called the Battle Book. Apparently the Battle Book was actually meant for Season 1, but it was delayed and renamed to the Battle Pass and has kept that name to this day. Season 2 probably brought one of the worst weapons of all time though, the Cupid's crossbow, so be thankful you never had to use this thing if you hadn't started playing Fortnite yet. It's so disappointing that they decided to add this thing despite having so many other cool weapons in development like the plasma pistol. The visual effects on this thing are awesome, and I just can't believe Fortnite never ended up releasing releasing something like this. There's another weapon just like it that's called the Space Pistol, but this one has bullets that bounce off of walls. If the bullets were able to damage players and then also bounce off them and hit their teammates, that would be a super cool weapon to use. The last sort of futuristic weapon they had in the files was called the Zap Zap, which honestly looks pretty overpowered. Apparently, each one of these explosions do 121 damage to players, and if you combine that with how easily it's breaking structures, this thing would be pretty absurd in game. So I can see why this weapon wouldn't make it in its current form, but realistically they should have just nerfed it a bit and then allowed it to be in the loot pool. Moving on, we all know Greasy Grove as one of the most iconic OG POIs in Fortnite, but it turns out that they had more planned for Greasy than we ever knew about. There were consumable items such as the Durables Shake that were set to spawn around the POI and would give you 10 shield each. It even had the little drinking animation to go with it, so they had to have been close to actually releasing these things. There was also the Durables Hot Sauce consumable that would give you a speed boost, and both of these consumables were supposed to be able to be picked up and stored as well before they ended up being scrapped. We did end up getting the chili peppers, of course, to pretty much replace the hot sauce, but I think the hot sauce was a cooler idea, honestly. Finally, it only makes sense that Dur Burgers were planned to be a consumable themselves. Each of the burgers would have given you 10 HP each, and it turns out there was supposed to be a Dur Burger helmet item too that would prevent headshot damage. Unfortunately, the item is kind of broken, so it doesn't actually appear on your head in game, but this was a mechanic they did end up using with the alien head feature in chapter 2 season 7. So I guess just because something hasn't been used for a long time doesn't mean they won't bring it in some fashion in the future. Unfortunately though, I can't say I genuinely believe that to be the case 100% of the time, considering that the Zapatron has never made a formal return after only appearing in game for 30 minutes. Literally only one person was able to record footage with it in game, and Fortnite has been teasing us by adding it in the files randomly since then. It was put on display in the Imposters game mode map at the bridge. It was seen floating in the water before we went into chapter 3, and then Sloan was even seen using it in the Fortnite Zero War comics. It's crazy too because there was actually another version of the Zapatron in the files where it shoots a continuous beam. So Fortnite really just needs to hotfix it in game for another 30 minutes to make people go crazy again. And believe it or not guys, if you are an OG Fortnite player that has been playing since season 0 or season 1, or even has just bought Save the World in general, I think, we are actually still owed a free cosmetic that they never gave us. There was an emote in the files named Storm Salutation, and according to the files, it was meant to be given out to founders. It is a pretty basic emote, I can't lie, so I can't say I'm too angry about never getting it, but it is weird that Fortnite just decided to never give it to us. Another cool little Easter egg about a sort of OG emote being the Rocket Rodeo emote is that there was actually an earlier version that was named Rocket Spinner, and instead of being a hologram, it was an actual platform with rockets around it. So I don't know why they decided to get rid of this version completely, because honestly it's kind of a cooler version than the one we have now. But yeah guys, I'm gonna leave you with one last developer item named Essential Oils, which is basically the first version of a Chug Jug, and yeah, it was just an orange version of the big pot we have today. But yeah guys, drop a like and sub if you learned something new, and make sure to check out this video if you missed it.